It's true. I need to talk about this. Everyone, I am so sorry. I was wrong about Doechii and I feel guilty about it. Now hear me out because I know this might be a hard sell for some of you, but anxiety was the fluke, okay? Anxiety was the fluke. It doesn't represent Doechii. And seeing some of her live performances, which for some reason I've just missed up until recently, she's a legit artist and a great live performer, undeniably. It's not like I'm saying I listen to her stuff all the time now or that she's even in my regular rotation of songs, but I felt compelled to make this video because I really think the majority of people who don't like or at least respect Doechii, it's really just a lack of exposure on how much you've even seen from her. And by the end of this video, I feel confident that I'll be able to convince most people who just like hate on anxiety and Doechii just like without knowing any other further details that they'll actually come to respect her as an artist. Because the way that I first found out about her was with the song Denial's a River, her second biggest song next to Anxiety, which was unique, showed she had character and charisma while having good taste in beats and delivery. Like that's a very standout song and like the song I would always turn to show that like she has something undeniably with this song. Then I listened to her whole album and I wasn't as crazy about it as everyone else, but it still of course showed promise and potential at the very least. Next in the timeline though is when Anxiety came out, and you know, I mean, I've said enough about this song, okay? And you know, everything I said, I still believe in, and I still think it's true. From using the Somebody I Used to Know beat with no variations to the writing of Unhappy, No Homo. That was one of the standout lines.
Unhappy, no homo.
To the music video, to kind of the whole concept of writing a song about anxiety in such an on-the-nose fashion, it was kind of meant to fail from the start. Like, all of that can be true, but come on, to say all that, you've got to at least mention the full story of how the song came together in the first place. This song was a random throwaway remix that she did in 2019, when she was 21, by the way, and just uploaded it to YouTube, only for it to go viral on TikTok in early 2025 to people dancing to it, saying it's fun, and requesting an official studio version. So Doechii and her label jump on the opportunity like anyone else would in that kind of situation and think, hey, you know, people are enjoying it anyway, why not just give them what they want? And they release an official studio version just for it to be the like the best and worst thing simultaneously for her career. Because I mean, numbers wise, to put it in perspective, not talking about like what random YouTubers think or what you and I think, it's clearly her biggest song and propelled her into the mainstream with it reaching the top 10 of the Hot 100 amongst like the general public. However, unfortunately now, this is the main thing that she's known as. If you like ask someone on the side of the street, like, what do you know Doechii from? She's like the anxiety girl. Which I can't even begin to explain how much that sucks so bad because this song doesn't represent who Doechii is at all. If you listen to literally any other of her songs or her live performances, like this is not Doechii. This is just like her as a 21-year-old, probably like in college, just like messing around on her laptop, making just some random remix to like post it on YouTube. Like this is not what Doechii should be recognized for.
No homo.
And it's clearly the lowest display of her talent and ability when she is capable of so much more, writing-wise, production-wise, delivery-wise, like kind of everything. It's kind of like Radiohead hating Creep for a number of years because they were just known as the Creep Band, which frustrated Tom and Johnny because they knew they were capable of like so much more musically. Except even if it's not that complex of a song, like Creep is still a classic and just like great song. Back to Doechii though, I even knew this too generally that she had so much more potential like when I would talk about her before on videos, but nowhere near to the extent that I do now on how unfair it is to just like classify her as the anxiety girl. And this is where I completely got my mind changed about Doechii. So Caitlin and I were rewatching some Grammy performances and Doechii's from last year popped up and I never saw it for some reason, so we put it on and what the fuck?
Hoorah! Step up in this bitch, I look too fly. Cop the Dior drip on Ventura.
She is a performer, like above anything else that I've seen from her. Like Doechii is at her strongest that I've ever seen in a live fashion because this was like a super impressive fan-making performance. From the creative direction with the visuals to the breath support, making sure each word was delivered with the same grit and tone as the last, which is like super hard for live rap performances. Even thinking back to Kendrick's Super Bowl live performance, there was like a lot of times where you could tell he was out of breath, that he couldn't really like fully get out a phrase or a sentence, but with Doechii, that like didn't happen at all. You felt the weight of each line because of how strongly she delivered it every time. Oh, and how could I forget too? too, the additional jazz elements live literally made the show. Like, that was the whole performance. That was so good. I really hope she implements these jazz elements more into her actual like studio music going forward, because it seriously adds so much and complements like the attack of her aggressive delivery in the first place so nicely. And just overall, she killed it. I seriously think if you show this to most people who are on the fence about Doechii, this will change their mind. Like, from these like few clips I'm showing right now, hopefully that changes your mind, but you should totally watch this full performance if you haven't already. And I'm not pushing her down your throat where I'm saying you have to like her or listen to her music, but watching this performance, at least like respect her and getting like a better understanding of that she deserves like to be where she's at. This is an artist who fully deserves to be where she's at right now. And I know I saw some stuff about people calling her an industry plant because other big artists were saying good things about her, co-signing her and everything. But I think the confusion again comes from just like a lack of consumption or awareness, because if you see Billie Eilish and Tyler the Creator go crazy for her on social media and all you think she's done is sing about her anxiety while twerking on the music video, like, yeah, I could understand why you would be extremely confused if it was just off that basis, but after watching more, you totally start to get it. Because luckily, how talented that she is, I don't think she'll have any problems getting out of the anxiety hole she's kind of like unfortunately dug herself in, and will actually be known more for her good music that represents her more accurately in her live performances. Honestly, enough time just has to go by to allow her to move on from this. Like, why the fuck did it just win the best music video at the Grammys? Like, come on, man. I know there wasn't like an insane amount of competition, but that music video has no business winning a Grammy. Like, let's just be real. Like, come on, don't remind people. Let's just move on and let her, move past this. Like, I saw this tweet about it and I was like, man, even if their intentions are in the right place, like, I don't think this is benefiting Doechii to have this be the press around her. Like, the way everyone hated on Doechii for this song, just for it to win a Grammy. And do you know what tweets like this farm? They indirectly farm stuff like this to go viral. So the original is, she got the last laugh because of the way the song was dragged just to become a Grammy winner. We live in a world where bad songs from bad artists win awards, and it makes people think maybe these artists aren't bad instead of maybe these awards are meaningless. Now, I agree that like the Grammys really doesn't mean that anything. Like, if we're being real and realistic, and if you actually like care about the raw art and music creation process, the Grammys shouldn't mean much to you if someone wins a Grammy or not, because making music, making art shouldn't be about trying to appeal to the most amount of people or to try to worry about your song being popular or not. It should be about genuinely trying to, push the boundaries, expand your craft, make something that you truly think is like really impactful and cool and different sonically. So even though I talk about the Grammys socially just as an interesting thing to observe, altogether it doesn't mean that much and you shouldn't really take it that seriously. But what is this part right here? Like, this is a not serious person. Saying that Doechii is a bad artist, this is the problem. This is completely a lack of exposure of just thinking she's the anxiety girl. But if you take a look at these live performances of her different music, like, you would not have this impression of Doechii. It is actually ridiculous to make a blanket statement to ever think like Doechii is a bad artist. Like, that blanket statement, that's so ridiculous to say. And unfortunately too, like the worst people on the internet have latched on to hating Doechii for their own personal agenda, which has made it that even if you just have normal critiques of anxiety, you don't want to get lumped in with these people who just say this insane shit.
Oh, Doechii rant? Oh, dude, don't get me started on that bitch. Hey, don't get me started on that bitch. Don't get me started on that industry plant. Don't get me started. Fuck Doechii. The umbrella clip pissed me off. What an entitled, unintelligent piece of shit she is, bro. She deserves, bro, I'm not joking, bro. Stop listening to her music. Cardi and Abel, why would you give her a feature on a remix? You shouldn't have cleared it. She's just the worst. She's a piece of shit. She stole someone like that I used to know. She makes no good music. She's horrible. She has zero talent.
This clip is so good because it is so ironic that he's pretending to be morally outraged over Doechii being snappy at the people working for her when he was just hanging out with rapper 6ix9ine, who has pleaded guilty to being with a 13-year-old girl. Also, this is the same guy who paid $2 million for a 6-minute collab with famous woman beater and deadbeat Playboy Cardi.
How was your day today? What'd you do?
So yeah, it's super annoying that people like this have kind of hijacked the whole conversation when it comes to Doechii, and I know she put out like a diss track, like roughly talking about the people who are saying bad things about her, and that was fine, that was alright, but seriously, what I think she should just mainly focus on is not giving these people attention. Focus on your craft, your art, you know, a new album. I know she's working on a new album right now, and just really trying to improve your music and make a name for yourself for what you actually should be known for. And as enough time goes by and she starts having bigger and better songs, she will be more recognized for that first instead of Anxiety. Because she's got the world at her fingertips and has so much opportunity right now. But if you've watched still this far and you're not convinced enough to respect her, I encourage you to check out her Grammy performance and her Tiny Desk set right now, and I guarantee that you will have a different outlook on her as an artist. But yeah, if you liked and want to see more videos like this just about anything music related, be sure to like and subscribe, and there's 2 videos right here if you want to watch more. But I'm super looking forward to putting out new content, looking forward to it, appreciate everybody supporting, and I'll see you next time.